So we're getting pretty far along in our API, and it's probably about time that we go ahead and bite the bullet and implement exception handling. And the best way to understand exception handling is like this. By default, all unhandled exceptions will be a 500 to Spring Boot. And a 500 error is essentially just a generic error. If the exception is not handled correctly, all they will get back is a generic error. So it's your job as a developer to essentially take exceptions and map them to appropriate status codes and return the correct data. And we're going to implement what's called global exception handling. And this is probably going to be the most robust and the best form of exception handling, but it's also good to be aware of the other two forms of the kind of the lesser used but still important. So you can also have exception handling on a per exception basis. Like if you just wanted to put your own exception just right here, this is how you would do it. So if you just want to throw an exception just like that, what you do is you make this exception handler class and you put this response status annotation on top of it, and it will correctly show the type of exception that you want to actually implement. And you can put all types of custom code in here. It's really awesome. And also, key point here, it always extends the runtime exception because pretty much all of these are going to be runtime exceptions. You can also do it on a per controller basis. You can implement exception handling on a per controller basis. And we actually did that. So what's going to happen is if this actually returns what we want, it's going to return the HTTP status OK. But both of these are good, but we want to implement the good stuff. We want that global exception handling, right? So let's go into here. And what you want to do is exceptions are so important that you want to actually implement your own exceptions folder, I think. So I just go in here and I create exceptions. And then what you want to do is you want to actually create this class thing that I showed you guys. So we have this class right here, and we actually want to implement our own. Because we're doing it in the global way, you don't have to have the response status annotation, but you can do it that way if you want to too. It's really flexible. So we're just going to create a generic Pokemon not found exception. Pokemon not found exception. We're just going to call it, once again, exception. It's going to be a class, and it's going to extend runtime. So we're going to go here. It's going to extend runtime exception, and we'll go here. We're going to go static. And this is because the runtime exception uses something called serialization. So we have to implement this thing right here just for good measure. So I go UID and I go ahead and put 1. I wouldn't worry too much about that right now. If you want to research it, once again, it's called serialization. And so if you want to know more about it, go ahead. You can feel free to research that. And it's kind of boring, to be honest with you. So we're going to go down here, and then we're going to have a super, and we're going to give this a super message with the super method inside of it. So what's going to happen is that we are going to actually create these Pokemon not found exceptions, and it's going to pass this up into the actual runtime exception. So what super means is this is going to essentially just go up in here into our runtime exception, and it's going to, wait a minute. It's going to pass this actual constructor, this actual string, into the runtime exception. Okay, so looking good on that front. Now what we need to do is we need to create what's called an object, or it's not actually called like this specifically, but we're going to create an object so that when it returns the data back, it gives us our data in a nice little neat format and doesn't return a bunch of crazy error messages that somebody could use to hack us. Okay, status code. We're going to go in here, then we're going to go string, just like this, and we're going to go message, and then we're going to go private, just like this, and go date, and we're going to give it a timestamp so that when we actually return this data, we will return it back with the status code message and the timestamp. Okay, next thing that we need to do is we need to actually implement what we've been talking about for so long, is we need to actually implement the global exception handler. And the way that we're going to do that is we're just going to literally make a class called global exception handler. So we go in here, just like this. And we need to give it this thing called controller advice. I do not know why they call it controller advice. Maybe you're giving advice to the controller, but what essentially it's going to do is it's going to turn this into a special type of bean that Spring can use to handle exceptions. And this is going to be almost like, it's called an interceptor. It will actually intercept these actual, what are they called? Exceptions. It's going to implement these exceptions. Sorry, I blanked out. And actually intercept them before they actually happen. So we're going to go here, or before it actually turns up the 500 error. I'm sorry. So go in here, we're going to go object, just like this, and we're going to say handle Pokemon not found. Okay, exception. And we're going to return a response entity. And then we're going to go in here, we're going to say Pokemon not found exception. And we're going to call this EX for short for exception. Then we're going to give it the web request. And we're going to give it just the name request. And what this does is this is basically going to bring in our actual class. And this is going to bring in the actual data that's being received, or the actual request, so that it can actually error out and we can get information from the actual request. Like, it's almost like it's bringing in the web page, kind of. Okay, so we're going to go in here, we're going to go error object, then we go down and we're going to say, then we're going to assign values to the set status code, then here, and we're going to give it, for this specific instance, HTTP status is equal to not found, and this is the exact status that we want to, and we need to give it this value right here. And we're going to go error object dot set message, just like this. And we're going to go error object, and we're going to give it the get message and error dot object dot set timestamp new date, just like this. Okay. And so we've got our new date right here, and for some reason we're getting a red squiggle. Okay, so this is supposed to be date, and set timestamp is supposed to be, for some reason it's asking for data. Okay, hold on, I think I got an error here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go back to the error object, and this is supposed to be date right here. I don't know why it turned it into data. So good thing for IntelliSense. So now we go down here, and we're going to say new response entity, error object. Okay, and then here we're going to go error object dot HTTP status dot not found, just like this. So it's going to give us, once again, our response entity of not found. Okay, so this is Teddy from the future. I figured out that I actually had a bug in the code, and I went back and changed this, the error object right here, into EXE. And you don't have to test this if you don't want to. Like I said, I've already tested it. It works good. But if you want to test it yourself, what you can do is go into here and add a find by and add this line of code, the or else throw with the exception. And let's go ahead and run it, test it to make sure that it works. And let's go ahead and see here. Okay, as you can see, we've got our message. Before, this message was null. Now the message is there. And we can go ahead, and I'm just going to go ahead and take this out here so that it returns to normal. Anyways, hope that you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, make sure to hit that like button, make sure to hit that subscribe button, and as always, thank you for watching.